Have you ever felt tired of being everyone's answer, but no one's priority? You smile in the group chat, you show up when they call, you give the right advice, the calm words, the steady shoulder. But late at night, when the phone goes quiet, you feel it. A hollow space where your own life should be. You wonder why you have so much to give everyone else and so little left for yourself. If you have ever felt invisible while being the most needed person in the room, this story is for you. By the end of this story, you will understand why the wisest people slowly disappear and why that disappearing is not a loss, but a rescue. In a quiet town built along a slow river, there lived a young man named Samuel. He was 27, sharp-minded, the kind of person neighbors came to for advice on money, marriage, and broken machines. Samuel answered every call. He never said no. But somewhere between fixing everyone else's problems, he had stopped building his own life. One rainy afternoon, an old woman named Miriam knocked on Samuel's door. She had known his mother, and she watched Samuel with sharp, knowing eyes. "You are the most useful man in this town, and the most forgotten. Do you know why?" Samuel shook his head, confused. He thought being needed was the same as being valued. Miriam reached into her bag and placed 2 clay jars on his table. One was cracked, its water slowly leaking out no matter how much was poured in. The other was sealed, holding steady, filling drop by drop. "This cracked jar is you," she said. "You keep pouring yourself into everyone else's jar, and your own stays empty, drop leaking out faster than you can fill it. The sealed jar, that is the life you could be building if you protected your own time the way you protect everyone else's peace." She told him plainly, "Every time you say yes to someone else without asking what it costs you, you widen the crack. One day you will have nothing left to pour." Samuel nodded politely, but that night his cousin called needing help moving furniture. The next morning, a neighbor needed him to fix a leaking pipe. By the end of the week, 3 more people had asked for his time, money, and energy, and Samuel said yes to all of them the way he always had. The cracked jar sat on his shelf, gathering dust. He told himself he would start protecting his time once things settled down. But things never settled down. There was always one more person, one more favor, one more emergency that wasn't his to carry. Weeks passed. Samuel's own small business, the one he had dreamed of building for years, sat untouched. His notebook of ideas gathered dust beside the cracked jar. He grew tired in a way sleep couldn't fix, a tiredness that lived behind his eyes. He still smiled at gatherings, he still gave good advice, but something in him had gone quiet, like a light dimming so slowly that no one, not even Samuel, noticed it happening. Then came the evening Samuel had feared without knowing it. His cousin called again needing help, but this time he had also promised himself he would finally open his old business notebook. He chose his cousin again. By the time he returned home, it was past midnight. His notebook sat closed on the table, exactly where he had left it 3 months ago. He picked it up and flipped through the pages. Ideas he once believed in now looked like relics from a stranger's life. Dust had settled into the spine. His hands trembled as he realized the business he dreamed of had quietly died while he was busy saving everyone else's day. Samuel sat at his table and wept. Not loudly, but the kind of crying that comes from deep exhaustion, shoulders shaking, face pressed into his palms. He remembered Miriam's voice, clear as if she stood beside him. "One day you will have nothing left to pour." That night, Samuel understood. Being needed by everyone was not the same as being valued by himself. Intelligent, capable people don't vanish because they stop caring. They vanish because they finally start protecting the one jar nobody else was filling for them. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Samuel did something he had never done. He turned off his phone. He sat alone at his table with his notebook and worked, really worked, for 2 silent hours. No calls answered, no favors done. Just him, his ideas, and the sealed jar sitting quietly beside him, holding steady. It was uncomfortable. Guilt crept in with every unanswered message, but for the first time in years, Samuel felt something fill inside him instead of drain out. Every morning after that, Samuel woke early and gave the first 2 hours to himself before the world could ask anything of him. Every evening, he closed his door for 1 hour, notebook open, phone silent. Slowly, he began saying a new word to the crowd of requests around him. Not today. People noticed. Some were confused. A few were even upset that Samuel wasn't as available as before. But Samuel kept pouring into his own jar, drop by drop, the way Miriam had shown him. Months passed, the notebook filled with plans, then action. The small business Samuel had dreamed of finally opened its doors. Modest at first, just a single room and a handful of customers. But it was his, built from hours nobody else had taken from him. One evening, Miriam visited again. She saw the cracked jar still sitting on the shelf, empty and forgotten, and beside it, the sealed jar, now full to the brim. She smiled and said nothing. She didn't need to. Dear listener, this is the truth intelligent people learn, often too late. Disappearing from everyone else's noise is not selfishness, it is survival. Every person has 2 jars, one others will always try to fill their needs from, and one only you can fill for yourself. If you keep pouring from a cracked jar, you will run dry long before anyone notices you're empty. Do not wait until your notebook gathers dust. Do not wait until your own dreams feel like a stranger's life. Protect your morning hours. Protect your silence. Say, not today, when your own jar needs filling first. If you enjoyed this story and learned something valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Rise Within, and share it with someone else who also struggles with giving everyone else their time and energy. Together, we can learn to fill our own jars first so we have something real left to pour into the world.